This is A-Game, an all-natural herbal dietary supplement formulated exclusively for men. Our proprietary blend was designed with one goal in mind: to improve your overall health, rejuvenating your vitality, energy, strength, and libido. Want to be at your peak performance in everything you do? Then bring your A-Game. Fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Oh my God.
What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, and we are back with another video. And this is going to be part two to this new series, this new pre-record series that I started. Black men don't know their role in relationships. Black men don't know their roles in relationships. This is part two. And today I'm going to speak on toleration versus acceptance. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of us brothers, when we're dealing with each other, the reason why it's so traumatic, the reason why it's so tiresome, it's very counterproductive. The reason why those things are so prevalent when it comes to black men relating to one another, it is because we were taught to tolerate each other. That's what we were taught. And we were taught to tolerate each other simply out of people tolerating us. See, a lot of black men, we're not accepted for who we are. We're not accepted for who we are. We're not accepted for who we are, and we're not accepted for the things that we accomplish. We are tolerated. And this is how a lot of us treat one another, black men. This is why we're so adversarial. This is why, as long as we're agreeing with one another, everything is okay. As long as we're acquiescing, it's okay. See, that's tolerance. See, because once there's a disagreement, then the BS begins. Then the battle begins. The competition begins. The war begins amongst black men. And that is simply because we tolerate each other and we don't accept who we are. We don't accept one another. See, acceptance is totally different from tolerance, because once your tolerance level reaches a certain point, the things that you've tolerated before, you're not going to tolerate anymore. You see? Compared to when you accept your brother for who he is, a disagreement is simply a disagreement. You see? A disagreement is simply a disagreement. A conversation or maybe a debate is simply that. And it's going to stay in that realm of debating, of disagreeing. It's not going to veer off into, well, this is how you are, and I knew you were like this, and I knew you were like that, and no. See, once it goes off into that space, then you actually is proving that you don't accept that man for who he is. You just tolerating him. You're just putting up with things because obviously there's something in it for you. See, that is the key to this tolerance thing with black men. Because it goes back to when we were children and how a lot of us were tolerated. We weren't accepted as children. A lot of us were tolerated because what? Shout out to my brother Ronan. A lot of us black men were what? Human unemployment vouchers. So we were tolerated. We were tolerated because a lot of us was getting those, our parents were getting those checks for us. Now, my parents wasn't getting a check for me because they never went and lied to the government for no reason back in the 90s where that thing was popular. You know, a woman could go and tell the government, you know, my son got asthma. She was getting a disability check. Or my son got a learning disability when he doesn't have a learning disability. It's just he wasn't being taught at home. So she goes and say, oh, my son got a learning disability. She get a check. And this is why those type of children ended up doing what they was doing in the streets. A lot of them don't get along with their parents. And see, I'm talking about the men. This is because from young, a lot of us weren't accepted. We were tolerated. A lot of brothers grew up, they were never accepted by their dads. They were tolerated. Every chance they father get, he putting hands on them. He jacking them up. He's screaming on them. He don't ever talk to his sons. Everything is a dictatorship. See, that is because he don't accept his children. He just tolerate them. And see, brothers, we have to move away from tolerating each other because tolerance also shows the lack of love, which a lot of us grow up having. We grow up having a lack of what? Love and support. And it's because it starts right in the family. And we don't have no love and support. We don't. So this turns into tolerance. Because if I don't love you, then I'm going to just put up with the things that I put up with from you because I'm actually getting something from you. You see? So your woman may be just tolerating you, brother, because you pay all the bills. You don't give her no problems. You let her run around and do what she wants. You give her allowance every month. So she tolerates you. She don't love you. She don't respect you. She tolerates you because you're just a means to an end. You see? And a lot of us brothers have a problem with this when it comes to dealing with our women. But let's speak on how you deal with other men. Do you accept your brother that's standing next to you, or do you tolerate him? Are you saying that that's your brother because he's helping you and you're helping him? What if you only had to help him? What if the exchange was different? Would you still accept him, or will it still be a form of tolerance? Can you help a brother without him paying you nothing? Can you genuinely get on a phone and pour into your brother without him having to pay you for it? See, because if you're getting paid to do it, you're doing it because you're being paid for it. It's a level of tolerance. So you can tolerate listening to the things that he's going through because he's paying you. But what happens when he don't got the money to pay you? But he still needs your help. He still needs your agency. Then what? See, that shows and proves if you accept him being your brother or not. Because see, when you accept people, you accept everything that come with them. When you love your brother, you accept him. You don't tolerate him. You don't put up with his bullshit. When you love somebody and you accept them, it is what it is. See, when you accept the person, you're not embarrassed when they act the way they are. See, if you feel embarrassed when you around another brother because he speak out against shit that you may not feel comfortable speaking against, what it actually shows is you're tolerating your brother. You don't accept him. And 9 times out of 10, when you go around other people who don't accept your brother and just tolerate him, y'all sit around and y'all talk about him. Y'all sit around and y'all talk about him because y'all don't accept him. Y'all tolerate him. And this is why I have to point out that brothers don't know their roles in relationships with other brothers. See, I'm not talking about the relationship that you have with women. I'm talking about the relationship we have with one another, black men. And this is why everybody quick to call you bro, because they want something from you. They tolerate you. They don't accept you. And we got to move away from this, because what created this tolerance was the lost value system. See, that's what created this space of, I'm just going to accept this brother, because at the end of the day, we get money together. We go on trips together. We went to the same college and graduated from the same school. So I'm a tolerate his BS. I'm a tolerate his homo masculinity, because we went to the same school and we in the same social club. But do you accept them? No, because when you get around the people that are like you talk about them. What shows you don't accept that man, you tolerate him. And you have to understand, brothers, that we have to begin to accept each other. Because if we don't, it's going to continue to prove that we're not our own agency, that we need help to get our own shit together, black men. This is why you hear me promote and been promoting, we are our own agency. How are we going to be our own agency? How are we going to provide agency if we don't accept one another? You see? You see? It's too much brothers tolerating one another. This is why you can't get behind and stand behind a black man product. A black man who's providing agency to the space. You can't get behind this because you tolerate black men, because you ain't getting no money. It ain't your product. So you can't accept when other brothers come in and try to provide agency for other brothers and want to do that for all the men. See, it's hard for you to get behind that because of your tolerance level for black men. And if all the money ain't going in your pocket, you ain't accepting that shit. And this is why black men are scattered. We're scattered. This is why we always running to different factions, because there's a lot of tolerance. Because men hang out with dudes they can tolerate. Most of you dudes don't hang out with dudes y'all accept. This is why y'all hang out with everybody. This is why y'all are go and jump on a panel and be cool and say anybody's your friend. Because you tolerate black men, you don't accept us. And when you're done tolerating us, you throw us away and say we ain't worth shit. And this shit has to stop. Because if you love black men, you'll accept us, black man. So take that same advice you tell black women. If you loved us, you'll accept us. Take that advice for yourself, black man. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to all of the visionaries. Much love to the A-Game family. Salute to the A-Game Nation. And make sure y'all check out part 1 of this new series I will be putting out. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to catch y'all on the next video. Peace.
This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.